All right, hello everyone. Welcome back to Relevancy. Welcome back to Vassals of Kingsgrave for another A Song of Ice and Fire, HBO's Game of Thrones related podcast. This time we're discussing the new HBO series A Night of the Seven Kingdoms, which just finished airing a few minutes ago on HBO. It's what is it? It's the 18th of January today. That was great. My name is Adam. I'm also known as drownedsnow on the forums and other internet sort of things. And I am joined by Bing.
This is Bing. I think I was once upon a time a Shoeshiner.
That's right. Once a screen name, always a screen name, Bing. Okay. David.
Hi, it's David HHH on the Discord.
Michal.
Hello, inkasrain or Michal.
And Zander.
Hey, it's Zander. Also the Lord Baron Blackfire.
That's right. Blackfire ends today, or it will be at least somewhat as this season goes on. And we may be joined by some other vassals who are maybe still finishing the episode, might pop in. So, do we want to start with our lemon cakes or our appropriate, I don't know, jelly donut or tart or what? We were trying to decide what it was he had in his hand for like 5 minutes during that party scene.
Or giant turkey legs.
The turkey legs. Oh, dude, that was such a huge fucking turkey leg.
Right?
What rating would you guys give this? Let's start with Bing.
I'll give it a nice 3.5. So that'll be like a quarter of I can't do math. 60% of a chicken, a turkey. I don't know. It's pretty. I feel like I'm watching like the first 15 minutes of a nice, quaint Knights movie. We haven't gotten to the good part yet. Everything is still setting up, right? 70% good. Thank you. It's nice. I like it. I don't know if I have that much to say about it. But yeah. It's fun.
Yeah, that's kind of how I feel. Like a little bit of a tease, right? But I mean, I enjoyed it, right? I just was like, I said this every season probably about Game of Thrones, and now with House of the Dragon, it's like they should give us a 2-hour premiere. Just the way they structure these things, I think that would work better. So, all right, David, what did you think?
I'm going to give it 4 turkey legs out of 5, but they're really big turkey legs. I mean, was it like the best hour of television I've ever seen? Certainly not. It's set up, which is what it needs to be, and considering that we're coming from, the world of Game of Thrones and House of the Dragon, people kind of need to be eased into kind of the tone of this series, I think. I mean, if you've read the novellas, it's very, very different from Game of Thrones and Song of Ice and Fire. It's very, lighter, little less, going on in a lot of scenes until it really gets going later. And I think it captures the tone of the novella perfectly.
I don't know if shitting over the Game of Thrones theme was the necessary step to do that, but
Yeah.
I agree with everything else you said.
I just like the fact that they didn't reuse the theme again for another show.
Well, we did get it for a little bit. We haven't gotten any opening credits yet, so we don't know if it's going to have it or if it just doesn't have it for the premiere.
Yeah, I'm curious, but by next episode we'll find out for sure if they're just sort of going with the cold opening or if how that's going to go.
If there's opening credits, we'll get the Game of Thrones theme.
Yeah, well, we'll see. I hope not, because this is a decidedly different type of show. So, Michal, what'd you think?
I don't know. I don't know what I thought. I was expecting to like it a lot more than I did. But expectation doesn't necessarily mean that it's bad. I don't know. There are things I genuinely, the flashbacks are bothering me a lot, actually. And really are kind of what frustrates me as far as the tone. I also don't know why we needed 20 fucking minutes dancing with Lionel Baratheon. Although that actor is great, certainly.
Because filler! Hey!
And look, you know what? We got Darren. Darren, and he appears potentially to be suitably tragic. So that was definitely a plus. But I don't know. I don't want to say like it was bad. I'm just like my expectations and what I got are very different.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. All right. We'll talk about that in a minute. What do you think, Xander?
I feel like I gotta agree with Bean. It's like a good 3.5, 70%.
Okay, I mean, fair enough. Yeah, I think I'm kind of there too. Like, I really liked it. I had a great time. Um, but I don't know. It does feel like the novellas are short enough that how many episodes are we getting? 6 or 8 or
Right.
something? So it's
6.
gonna be like 5 or 6 hours of this at least, and you could probably tell this story in like a decently tight 2.5 hour movie, and it would be done pretty well. I feel like. So you have to stretch things out, and it feels like yeah, we got like the first 15 minutes, you know, of the movie is kind of what this feels like, which is not bad. Um, so there were a few changes that I thought were kind of weird, but I didn't hate them. Like immediately, like Dunk sounds like Dunk, which was big for me. Like the accent and the and we're getting the clouts and we're getting I don't know. Like he kind of just leaps off the screen. The actor and then of course Eggs. Great casting for Egg. I just hope they get through the get through the seasons quickly for that kid like becomes 10 feet tall or something. You never know. So I think the tone was good, but I think someone mentioned like like did they run out of like clothing dye at some point in Westeros? Like there are like a lot of bland colors, which is kind of surprising for like a peacetime tourney. Like I expect that from like Dunk's outfit, right? Um, so yeah, I don't know. I mean, I really liked it. The the extended tent dancing thing was I just sort of understood that like, oh, we're just filling time. And I mean, I like Lionel Baratheon. That was fun. But yeah, kind of weird. It is nice to see Dunk, you know first time at the buffet, just like I'm here for the food. Like what else am I here for? Like
Right.
I'm hungry. Like, oh shit, they're not used to having peasants around, right? So yeah. But
Well, what
then
peasant would like dare to go into his tent? I mean,
well, right, and like he also I liked that he didn't throw anyone under the bus because he could have been like, well, Fossaway brought me in here, man, or like he just sort of like didn't know what to do and was like, well, I'm here to eat. I don't know. I thought it was kind of charming, but um, I don't know. It was weird. And then watching the previews, I guess like I assume most people, if you're listening to this podcast, probably know this story, have read it multiple times. You may have read the graphic novels. We were talking about those earlier.
Well, you do now if you watch the preview.
The season preview, like about the only thing it doesn't really give away is like the
Egg.
big twist with Egg,
Yeah.
and like there's some there's major deaths and things that happen or whatever, but it's just sort of tells you like here's how the season's gonna go. So I guess they really want to make sure people tune in with a juicy preview, or I don't know. How'd you feel about that?
I feel like they almost had to like show some action because this was. I wonder, like, someone coming in and just watching this episode would they be like, okay, this is boring. I'm not watching the rest of it because nothing's going to happen. Other than we got a really great puppet dragon breathing fire, which was really cool. But other than that, like nothing really happened. So I could see that they're like, no, keep with it. You're going to see stuff's going to happen.
Yeah, well, because like when they show all these knights like in their armor and like everything looks great, man. Like what's coming up? Like you go, ooh, they spent some money on that armor. Even like Dunk just looks like a big knight, right? Um, so I don't. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of hard to judge as people that have been invested in this for as long as we have and
And we
have
know where it's
known
going.
this. Yeah, we've known this story for so long. So, if I was someone who like only has seen these shows and is maybe like very, maybe I read a Wikipedia on this at some point, right? like, is this preview like, is it helping, hurting? Like, I don't know. I feel like the people that are watching, and if they're not watching, and it's good, someone will tell them it's good, and they'll start watching, right? So
I mean, coming attractions are meant to get you excited to keep watching. I feel like it did that. Maybe gave away a little too much, but that's fine.
also, disappointment on the YouTube. Normally, I put up like a lemon cake poll for every episode, and we used to have 5 options for lemon cakes. Now there are only 4. You can only put 4 options in a poll. You can't put 5. So maybe
We're going to drain that YouTube.
maybe it'll be like 1 to 2 lemon cakes will be its own option. Sorry. We
How
used
about
to
don't
have
even
like half
put
options on the forums, right? So
don't even put 1 up, then they can't review bomb it.
well, I mean, if they thought it was a 1, then they thought it was a 1.
I'm
You got to
kidding.
give the
I'm
people
kidding.
options, but yeah, I don't know. That's yeah. Anyway, that's just like a minor disappointment. So, what did you guys think about the way they opened? I mean, just straight into, Sir Arlen's death and the burial, and it feels more. I think it feels more apparent. Like there's always been this question in the the novellas of like, well, did he ever really get knighted? And I think this feels just like seeing the way that the actors is pushing it, and he's definitely playing more like the no, oh yeah, I'm totally a knight, which I think we all kind
Yeah.
of assumed it didn't actually happen.
Right.
The flashbacks, some of them I liked, and some of them were a bit weird. I'm not sure. I'm not sure how far that's going to go. If
I
maybe
felt
they'll
that
drop that.
I felt that the flashbacks that like started with this moment, and again, I'm bringing a lot of like melancholy to the scene of burying Sir Arlen, right? But when we just like undercut, you never beat me except when I deserved it, and we show Dunk getting walloped like multiple times in like humorous cuts. Like to me that was like it indicated that whatever Dunk it almost made him a very unreliable narrator, and also like made the relationship way more sour. And like they might add nuance in flashbacks like later, in the whatever 5 other episodes that we have. But like that was kind of like right off the bat I was just like, wait, why are you like imposing on this moment? Like it seems unnecessary other than for like comedic value that I didn't really see.
Yeah, I think they definitely wanted to be like, hey, this is going to be lighter and more fun, everyone. Then for the inevitable, like, death sentence that he gets, then the fun gets to go away. I don't know.
Yeah, but I don't know. Like just watching this, I'm like, well, Sir Arlen sucked. Like that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, now from the books, okay, I never thought of like Sir Arlen was like the I don't know, like the very rosy knight, like, oh, that's the kind of knight that everyone wants or whatever. But he did seem like he had a code. He was mostly fair, like not always, but
No,
he
and
just was
also like
like he was just gruff. Like
yeah, I think it's very interesting to like texture that relationship, and obviously like Dunk's perspective on him like being reliant on this guy for so long and really having everything that he, whatever he has from him. Like that's interesting. It's not like it's that the guy has to be perfect, but like in this in this particular moment when we are first meeting Dunk and first meeting the memory of Sir Arlen and what that relationship may have been, like it felt like a real misstep to me.
yeah, I think I agree there. He came off as much less than you'd want, at least upon like the initial introduction.
I don't know. I feel like it captured like his own mixed feelings about it, because obviously this guy was a dick to him, but
But that's
He
not.
gave him everything he has, so he's got to be mixed feelings right now, and he's now like on his own, and whatever family he had is now dead, and he's got to be
I just
pretty
feel that
mixed.
like he was a dick to him is not necessarily text. Like I agree it's a complicated relationship, but like, you know, just straight up like asshole. I don't know, but apparently this has George's blessing, so maybe that was the intended reading, you know, so
I mean maybe it is, but everything has George's blessing to start because once George gets the first check from something new, he's like, oh yeah,
Yeah,
it's gonna be great, guys. So, and then he's like, wait, what? I didn't tell him to do that. Just be clear, I didn't do that.
until the breakdown happens.
Can't wait for the blog post in 2 years about these producers.
we're all waiting for it.
I don't know. I liked it. I thought it looked great. I thought everyone felt, the Fossaways. You had the fucking asshole. The younger Fossaway seemed smaller than I think I had in my mind, but I'd have to read this story again. I haven't read this in years, I'll be honest. I probably should have reread this before the season started. But I don't know. Most of it really seemed to line up, like, from back when we did the recording. We did the Full Castle recording, and reading the novellas, reading the graphic novels. Like, this adequately like transported me to the tourney. I don't know, right? Like, I'm here for it.
I will say it. I'm so sorry, excuse me. I will say it did a very good job of being like an intimate, uh, grounded story. And like you're saying, like you feel like you're there. You feel these spaces. You know, they did a great job with environment and set.
And hopefully, I guess, because like this season is all going to be shot kind of in one location, other than maybe some of the flashbacks and stuff. I don't know what they did with that. Hopefully, they were able to kind of like ball out a little more, right? Because they don't have all these different sets, and the cast is much smaller, and so they can kind of focus a little more on dressing things up here. Like, even just like the tree in the beginning that he buried Sir Island under, I thought was a great location wherever they found that. I thought that was beautiful scenery there.
The one he diarrheaed under. Did we
We're
really
not going to
need
mention that again, David.
Uh,
You mention it again, and I'll clout you in the ear.
It's like, just did we need that?
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. Stress diarrhea, maybe, because the guy died.
I'm just traumatized by it.
I think Dunk was
yeah, see,
traumatized by it.
I sort of assumed that like I'd heard about that, and I was like, okay, so probably that's like he eats too much at the tourney or something, or like commentary on medieval food safety practices or whatever. I didn't expect it to be just like random. The next random shit that he had to take was that, I guess. So
Right.
yeah,
Well, and it's in the middle of like we're supposed to be feeling something for him and Sir Arlen, and it's in the middle of that because like
Right.
he has a shit, and then it clips to him like putting on his sword belt. And he looks back at the grave and he's like, "All right, Sir Arlen." It's like, but no, like that's that's not how you like keep a tone.
yeah. Also, by the way, Sir Arlen is going to be looking at the sky in about 5 minutes. There is like a millimeter of dirt over that man. But you know what? I liked how many women got to sort of speak.
Yeah,
Yeah, the innkeeper was good. The sex workers were good. I didn't quite get what was going on with the girl who was playing dead, but okay.
yeah. I thought that was
What
going to be
was that?
something to do with the show, and then like we didn't see anything.
What was
So
that? I don't get that at all.
I assume it was like for a skit or something, right? Because it's like she got the rocks in her eyes, like the Seven or whatever.
Or are they
Either it
just
was
like
that, or it
so
was like a
bored?
kink.
Oh,
Did anyone else think it was like a kink from the what's his face guy?
From the guy who's like, "Fuck you." It could be. I don't know,
Yeah,
man.
the
Like,
Lightning
because
Lord. Yeah,
Maybe.
they get up to some shit
Dondarrion.
here.
well,
It's like we were talking about. You were talking about like he was buried really shallow. It's like, CSI Westeros is going to show up, like wondering who the fuck was murdered. It's like the same thing. Like they'll walk by and just like, oh, there's a dead girl. Like, I don't know. Like what I thought we would immediately see that, in some sort of performance or something happening, and then it just kind of went nowhere. So that is kind of weird now that you mention it. But I'm sure that it's like there's probably something really obvious that we don't see there. Like I'd have to go back and look. Maybe it's like the faceless men or some shit. It always is.
She was a secret
But
Targaryen.
right, or a secret Blackfire. But speaking of, it looks like Varley's joined us here. Varley, you want to give your lemon cakes?
Oh, sure. Yeah, I will do 5 out of 5, whatever that jelly donut that Dunk was eating. Loved it. Reminded me of the graphic novels, and I think the casting was fantastic.
I think perhaps that was a tart, maybe. I don't know. I'm
Yeah,
not
but
really
it had a
sure.
hole in the middle. I'm thinking it was a donut.
Oh, I don't know.
Maybe,
It was clearly
maybe I
Bro's
just.
first time at the buffet, so
it looked like a bar to me.
Uh, yeah, I was hoping someone would like scold him for taking like the biggest piece of
Right?
chicken or whatever the
That
fuck that
big,
was.
huge turkey leg.
welcome to Chef Taros. Like,
Yeah.
what was Dunk eating this episode? I don't know.
All right, guys.
Good to
Talk to
talk
you
to you
later.
briefly.
All right,
Bye.
thanks, Matt.
Yep.
Sweet dreams.
Bye.
Let's see. Anybody else we want to cover? Like I said, I feel like I don't really have a ton to say about this, like critically necessarily, because I'm just kind of like I liked it, and
I don't really think there's that much to say, right?
they didn't
This
fuck
is a nice
anything up,
scene. No,
you
yeah,
know.
no.
Yeah.
It's a nice scene. That's a nice scene. I appreciate I feel for Duncan. I've been in that type of scenario, like a giant wedding or giant party where I don't feel like I belong, so I'm just awkwardly in the corner eating food. I enjoy that part.
I think a lot of us can relate. Did someone call you out and bring you over to the table and ask you why the fuck you were there?
No, I usually just wander off and outside and start wandering by myself.
Like who is this guy? I don't know, man. I like the turkey.
I just felt like that. I'm sorry. I feel like I'm being extremely down on this, and I don't mean to be a Debbie Downer. Just kind of these things stuck out to me. Whatever. So I felt like that guy, like Baratheon, was saying like 6 words for every one he needed to actually say. It was like we're having like beat and pause and pause and pause, and then he says something weird and enigmatic, and then Dunk looks confused, and then he says something weirder and more enigmatic, and yeah, I don't know. Like
Something about
I felt
killing
like that
him,
one could have.
and
Yeah, I felt like it could have used an edit button. Personally.
the conversation with the Master of Games was a little weird too.
Yes, that was
And
long. Also,
he's like, oh yeah,
Yeah.
and we we string him up, and then we fuck him, and then he's going on and on. And he's like, and I was like, oh what? And then he's like, I'm just kidding, bro. You're cool. And I'm like, oh, so are we gonna skip the whole thing where he has to like have someone vouch for him? And then oh no, he still needs someone to vouch for him. I'm like, what was all that about then? Like, it sounded like they were just gonna skip that part, you know? Yeah. Again, I think I mean, like humor's fine. There's nothing wrong with having levity, and it's supposed to be attorney. Everybody's supposed to be very jovial until obviously what's going to happen later. So, just a few odd bits, I suppose. And look at that, a wild Kevin has appeared. Kevin, you want to give your lemon cakes?
Hello everyone. I was taking the dogs out and got a Discord notification and looked and saw everyone was in the chat, and here I am. Out in the cold, waiting on my dog to use the bathroom. Lemon cakes after
By a
that.
tree?
Yes. Yeah. I hope it is less explosive than dunks. Lemon cakes, I will go for 4. Um, I liked the tone. I was very interested how this would go tonally because it's sort of a lighthearted story in the books, but like probably too lighthearted to go for that on TV. So I thought the choice to sort of it felt like watching A Knight's Tale to me, if anyone remembers that movie, except there was no rock music, but there was a little bit of anachronistic, like kind of country sounding, guitar sounding stuff. Um, and I enjoyed that bit a little, I think they a little bit had some we're HBO and we have to be gross moments, but overall, a lot of fun. Happy to be back in Westeros and see our friend Dunk.
It's HBO, so we need to have some whores on the show.
Yeah, it did feel very much like making a bit of a meal out of like this isn't your millennials Game of Thrones, like it's gritty, it's dirty, it's like these people stink. We're showing Dunk stinking and
But wouldn't that be millennial core? Gray, gritty? I don't know.
but like yeah, I don't know. I'm not against that. I just also feel like it made a bit too much of a point. Oh, at a certain point, I was like, we get it. Like, it's aping, early modern Europe, whatever. We think everyone stinks and is dirty, and to some extent, that's true. And I don't know. The time though, everyone's dancing like they're at like a Greek wedding. So I don't know.
Well, who doesn't love to dance, Michal?
Don't
Well, no.
don't let that one Twitter account, the fake history spotter, hear you say that people didn't pay this much back then. He gets really upset when people say that.
No, but that's what I'm saying.
Um,
Like, obviously, it was dirty by our standards, but it felt like, you know, it felt like, well, Rhaenyra and Daemon and Kristen Cole and Alicent are all so clean, and now like we're in like the mud with these pores, and it was a little
well,
bit like,
and they're also like at like a dirty field. They're like they're traveling. I
sure,
mean,
sure, sure.
sure. Like they're not back at the castle. It's all right. Sure.
Well, and I think it's a weird because I agree with Kevin that they do the tone of it is good for how they would have to adapt the tone from the book. But it also goes back to what Michal was saying with like it the best part of the scene with Lionel Baratheon is when Dunk goes, "Oh, I thought he'd be taller." That was the best part of the scene, and then there was just 8 minutes of nonsense.
Did anyone else think when he's like, "Bro, do you love to dance?" Like Dunk was gonna be like, "I have no idea how to fucking dance. What are you talking about?"
Right.
Like I thought that's where that was going. Like,
Well, but,
I
I
think
mean,
that was
if you
what they
looked
were
at him, he
saying.
didn't. Right. If you looked at him, he didn't until like he started dodging being stepped on and stuff, and then he started to get into it.
I just thought it was gonna say like awkward and like he was just gonna like die off in a corner somewhere. Yeah.
Also, like for all of the like, oh, we're being realistic about the relationships between the normies and the wealthy whatever. Lionel Baratheon clearly does not want to hang out with anyone as much as he wants
Right.
to hang out with this random hedge knight. Like
Right.
he is
Yeah,
just having the
but
best time.
that's just Daniel Ingcore. Like that man loves like he literally I looked at my friends and was like, he's acting like Jeff Goldblum. And I was like, he always kind of acts like Jeff Goldblum, like except maybe like a broier partier more version. But taking like odd, peculiar interest in this man because he's so tall is very. It's very Daniel Ing core in all of his roles, where he always plays some rich person who does a lot of partying and doesn't take their responsibilities seriously enough. And that, to me, I've said before, like I've said in the chat, like his whole career has led to him being a Baratheon. And it just, I don't know, it just all, maybe it's because I like that actor and the fact that it plays the same role so much, but I just felt like it all worked for me. But it was a long ass scene, I will say that.
Yeah, I mean, I was kind of expecting a keg to be like back in the corner or something. I don't know. It does also play a little bit like some of the Westeros shit that we've got, like, oh, gods, you're tall. Like that's all it takes, right? Like, oh, that's a huge fucking man. Get over here. Like, like they're just impressed by shit like that because, like, what else do they got going on? But I guess like Robert was always reminiscing, right?
About 3 seconds of Tanzel, that's what they have going on. That was crazy. That was a crazy set piece with that I think looked real. I don't think that was CGI, and that was a crazy set piece for how little they used it.
Hey, what did you think was going on with the girl playing dead? Like, you think that'll come up later? I guess I thought we were gonna see that in like a play or like a skit or something, but like maybe we'll see that like in an episode or two, or like what the fuck was that?
No one knows.
I think it was just some exposition to show Dunk's clueless. Like, I think they were just showing him wandering around halfway like a child.
It's just an excuse for boobs, I guess.
There you go. It's HBO.
Oh,
We got to show.
speaking of boobs, there was entirely more man butt than I appreciated in the show, but I'm sure y'all enjoyed it.
I was really thinking of Emilia Clarke, like processing into her too hot bath in the pilot of Game of Thrones. Like I would like a super cut of like her and Dunk bathing.
It's like you're the star of this show. You're gonna show some butts, so just get it over with now.
Exactly.
They're trying to even out the ratio. Yeah.
And also, we just plucked you out of like drama school, so you will show us whatever we want.
Yeah,
pretty much.
I do want to say before we get too far, as cool as the set piece was that you were saying, Kevin, I really still wish it was a puppet show.
It is. It is a puppet show. They're just big ass puppets.
But
big ass puppets and a red ass weed. And a penis.
Hey, the Dark Crystal can have big puppets and small puppets. Why can't this show?
We got a dragon puppet, so
I mean,
that was
it was impressive. A modern to media made like a large, like physical thing for their set. So let's just be happy, okay? Like that's a win these days. Something with infinity budget spent some on lumber for once.
I will say my favorite moment in the Baratheon tent was when Baratheon is stumbling away and his ridiculous horns, like knock the chandelier. That moment was so like it just showed me like the ridiculous of the Baratheons.
That felt like a Baratheon moment, yeah.
Very, very. It was like meta commentary on the whole family.
I was a little bit like, how has this line not died out?
Right.
Like.
Because they're bros, and bros take care of bros.
No, I think they just procreate before they can like dumbass themselves into an early grave, frankly.
Right.
I mean, that's like basically the medieval lord existence.
Yeah, at a very young age, you got to start popping out kids and bastards.
So a couple other quick casting things. When they kept cutting back to Dunk getting hit as a child, we were like, they cast this poor child just to get smacked in the head repeatedly. Like, we're gonna give your son CTE, but he's gonna catch his big break.
Little did
Yeah.
you know that's like a 40-year-old stuntman.
They've de-aged with CGI.
It's
Well,
Andy
like
Serkis.
for Stranger Things, they did a bunch of like flashback things with the kids, in later seasons where like they just put their heads on like like a stunt person riding a bike or something else. So it could be they got money to spend.
Well, those didn't look as terrible as the flashbacks in Stranger Things, so I think they were just actually an actor. But
Probably.
I kind of loved how obvious it was Egg was lying. Like, I thought they did that so well. Like, that,
Absolutely.
like, the way
Well,
he'd
that
get quiet, and, like, it only works because Dunk is oblivious, like, and it's something that was good in writing and in the graphic novel and everything, but, like, it felt very exactly how that whole interaction would happen in if something like that ever happened.
Am I the only one who didn't, upon first read, get that he wasn't really a knight? Like I heard people talking about it afterwards, fans talking. I was like, oh yeah, that makes total sense, and that kind
No,
of
it's
like
the
blew
R
my
plus
mind at
L
the
equals
time.
J of Dunk and Egg. Like, it's
Yeah.
obvious in retrospect, and now everybody knows it, so we take it as like,
The first time I read the Hedge Knight, it was like, well, no, yeah, the guy, any knight can make a knight. It sort of makes sense. And then
Right.
once I got to the second book, I was like, oh, I'm like, did that happen, or is he just like this dude who's like, I have to take my shot,
Is there anything in the book that suggests it doesn't happen? I don't remember. I kind of always took that as like it was
Not
meant to be.
directly,
Terrible.
no.
It's the lying. What is that term?
he would tell a monstrous lie to get something you wanted or something. Like, he knew what it was like, to want something so badly you would tell a monstrous lie. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
The whole thing of a knight is based on honor, and if your whole knighthood is based off of a lie, yeah.
And there's also the fact that he refuses to knight Raymond. He's like, gotta find someone else because I need to do something else.
Yeah, I think because he's like, I don't want like you to be connected to me because I still don't feel worthy enough. And that could just be because he's a new unknown, or it could be because he just made that shit up. So,
Or maybe he doesn't know how to do it because it wasn't done to him, so he doesn't know how to do it.
and I'm sure he's seen it done. Like, they fought, he squired for years. They traveled together. Like, he knows a decent bit about how all this works. But even if he wasn't knighted, I think it's meant to be sort of left up to us, and the show kind of makes it like it would be hard to argue the point, as like a first time viewer, like, oh yeah, I bet he just lied.
Yeah, I was thinking it was meant to be left up to us, but I had totally forgotten about the other evidence, to be honest. Glad I have friends that help me remember.
Yeah, I think the best part, I mean, at least for this episode, is when he's talking to the Fossilways and he's like, "Oh, you got a sword?" He's like, "Yeah, it's my rights, bitch." Like, whoa, hold on, that's I just was pointing out your sword. Like, oh, right, sorry.
That's a weird thing to say.
Yeah,
Right.
like they really hung a lantern on it there. So,
Yeah. That was a good even Stephen Fossaway's reaction didn't it like almost broke the tone of the way that people speak in Game of Thrones shows. Like, I thought there was a lot of that sort of I think that's what made me think of A Knight's Tale. Is it
kind of like the vernacular felt closer to us than closer to them.
It's like
Mhm.
it's the die part energy.
yeah. That's
And also,
exactly
I
it.
mean, like, even the line from the sex worker, like, Hedge Knight is like a normal night but sadder. Like, that is definitely not that's an usism.
Or the freaking about the price of eggs. I was like, please stop.
Yes.
You thought you were
Oh my
doing
God,
something
yeah.
there. Oh, the price of eggs.
Oh, how many coppers now? Is it a full groat?
Well, it was a very short episode, and there were some
Yeah.
choices made. Some bro tone, so nothing all that deep.
I just think it was nice to live in this world again, you know? Like I think that's when you read the novellas, like for the first 45, 50 pages of the like what 90 there are, like nothing happens. You're just like wandering around with this guy. And that's basically what we got here. So I mean, if anything, this is probably more than a sixth of the novella.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this is an interesting situation we're in that we've not been in before because we have Night of the Seven Kingdoms, and then we'll have House of the Dragon later in the year. So we'll have two shows this year, basically.
Yeah.
That's never happened. Also, I'm trying to remember back because I don't think Game of Thrones ever released in this window. Like there were no episodes coming out this time of winter, right?
No, definitely not.
Yeah. Yeah. Usually spring. It was almost always like late. It was almost like Memorial Day kind of.
Yeah, it was always like that or summer. Okay. So I'm looking here. Yep, okay, they will. So it's 6 episodes. It's going to go through February 22nd. The Super Bowl is February 8th, and there will be an episode February 8th according to this. So
Yeah.
there'll be
Really?
the fourth episode of this will be right after the Super Bowl. So there's no episode titles for the third through the sixth episode yet, but according to this, next week's episode is called Hard Salt Beef. So sounds like my boy's gonna get back to the buffet.
I would say we're
So-
getting more buffet scenes, a whole another episode of it.
He's like, y'all just eat like as much as you want. Huh.
No wonder George likes this series so much because he loves his feast scenes.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
I
can I visit-
actually,
If I visit the set, I want all the food to be real.
I actually had my like crew that I've watched Game of Thrones and House of the Dragon with over tonight, and I made stuff from 2 different cookbooks from the
Nice.
series.
Nice.
So we,
Aw.
Were there
Yeah.
donuts?
no, I did some apple like pork chops that were happened somewhere on the wall, somewhere in the story. And
Next
then I
week you
did
need a giant. Next week you need a giant turkey leg.
Yeah, we might actually be doing that at my friend's house. And I did some like bacon roasted potatoes and buttered carrots that Cersei eats at a meal at some point. There's a lot of just like needlessly expounded upon food in the books that
Mhm.
Says
allows
you.
for a lot of recipes. So yeah, it was good.
Look, I just watched a YouTube video this week for like 40 minutes talking about corn in Westeros.
Oh, yeah.
So
Oh yeah, we all did.
just saying.
We all did.
Neeps, neeps, neeps.
And melons and pumpkins, and I'm like, this is all very interesting. It just made me hungry, to be honest.
I will say, going back to the show for a sec, I agree. All the acting is great, and Peter is great, and Dexter Ansel is great. But when you do have like a tiny child speaking like the Queen of England, basically, and he's like, "Yes, I am from King's Landing," it does like make you go like, it's a good thing Dunk's stupid because my goodness.
Like, well, because Egg he's not lying to him. He's not being upfront.
No,
with who
he's
he
doing
is,
what
but-
Dunk is sort of doing with the knighthood thing.
Yeah, I mean, he's like, well, you'd have to take Neil back to King's Landing. He's like, oh, you're from Flea Bottom, eh? You piece of shit. No,
Oh, yeah, that's my favorite. Is you're from Playboy? No.
like if he just looked at it a little bit, he could figure out what's happening. He's got a lot on his mind too. Like he's trying to pull
Sure,
this whole thing off. And even if with his dying breath, Sir Arlen made him a knight. Let's say that's not an issue for him. Like that's not weighing on his mind. His the man he served for years has just died. He's basically broke. Once he enters this, if he doesn't win right away, he's destitute. With with no hope or prospects as far as he sees it. I mean, like he could go join someone's house, like as a big man at arms, like he'd do fine somewhere eventually.
Or he
But
mentions
you
he
know,
could join
in
the
his
King's
mind.
Guard. He could
Oh,
join the
that
City
was
Watch. City Watch.
that was
the
my
City Watch.
favorite. That was my favorite fucking line where he's like, "I could join the City Watch. I stop raping, sir."
Right.
What?
That's
I
what they
don't know.
do.
I don't know. That's how you treat the rapists, but okay.
Stop
Sir,
raping.
if you would please, abstain from any continued raping, that would be great.
They're definitely
Oh.
anti-rape for sure. The City Watch.
Very big step up.
Yeah, yeah. Let's see.
Yeah.
Who's in charge of the City Watch at this point? I don't know. I don't know if we ever find that out, but let me see. Who do
Well,
we have?
think of it this way: why would Dunk have any reason to suspect that this kid is someone important? I mean, other than maybe his accent or whatever, but like, because there really isn't any. He's not a Game of Thrones fan like us, who's sitting here like looking for secret Targaryens everywhere. There's no reason for him to think that this kid he ran into at some inn in the middle of nowhere is actually like someone.
No, but there's enough reason for him to question. Like, wait a second, like. I'm like, I talk about the mom. He's like, my mom's dead, and it's like, well, isn't the innkeeper your mom? And like, he just doesn't respond.
Right.
And then he says, I'll take you back home, and he's like, well, take me to King's Landing. And he's like, well, what was he doing with my horse, the innkeeper? Like, he's not putting like basic things together that would cause him to be like, wait, what the fuck?
Also,
It doesn't necessarily
that
he's gonna
weird guy at the
thread,
inn who
but-
threatened me had the same accent.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't know if I love the casting there. I'm gonna be honest.
Of Darren?
Yeah, Darren
Yeah.
he was a little weaselly. Like,
And like, it might just be
He would
sometimes
be
like when you get the
older.
Targaryen hair and shit, it just doesn't work for everybody.
Well, he doesn't have the Targaryen hair.
yeah, what the fuck, Adam?
It's like the whole
I don't
thing.
know.
Like he has dark hair, like his Dornish mother.
No, I'm thinking of
Come on,
like
man.
no, I'm thinking of the well, I'm thinking of someone else then because I'm thinking of the what's his name, the guy that
Brightflame?
he assaults.
Aryan Brightflame.
Yeah, that's who I'm thinking of.
Oh yeah, the short hair looks odd to me.
Yeah, I expected
Yeah,
longer.
I'm holding reservations until I see it in like, the actual episode because I'm not a fan right now.
Yeah.
And did we
It-
see Baylor Breakspear yet?
No.
Like in the previews or anything? Like I'm trying to figure out who's playing him.
I don't know if anyone else watched any wrestling growing up, but there was a time when Ric Flair cut his long blonde hair short, and that's the energy I get from.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
It was a bad time for
Yeah.
8-year-old Kevin.
It's like Samson lost his power.
Yeah. I mean, I get what you were saying about the accent, but I mean, he's interacting with all kinds of people. I don't think Dunk is really one to pick up on intricacies. And like that's a accent specific to one family in the kingdom. Like,
Well, no, and nobility generally, who aren't in the north. Look, it's not breaking anything. I just think if we're patterning this off of medieval early modern England, that would be a major signal of identity.
Yeah, but he's a lunk, and he
Yes.
is worried. He is worried about how he's appearing to the whole world. So it's like he doesn't have any bandwidth to put together anything.
We didn't get that line. I hope we get the line.
The Dunk the Lunk, yeah.
Yeah.
Thick as
There's a castle wall.
I mean, losing his internal monologue, you lose a bit of that, but I mean that'll
Right.
come out at
Yeah.
some point. Like maybe that's why
It's
part
gonna.
of why they have the flashbacks, as awkward as some of them are.
How do
He
we?
talks to his horses a lot. I think that's most of his internal dialogue.
Yeah. How do
Well, it
we
also
feel-
seems like Sir Arlen wasn't great, like for conversation. So, he probably just is used to talking to the horses.
Yeah. How do we feel about all the like fourth wall breaking? Like playing the Game of Thrones music and the like do we feel like it's okay that they're sort of winking at the camera so much in this?
That part I didn't mind, other than the shitting part, but I liked how they kind of like started playing it, and then we're like, no, actually, we're not using that. So I hope
Right.
they don't use that. If they use it like next episode and there's like a big opening, I'll just be like, lame. But
Winking at the
will.
camera is one thing. Shitting on the camera is another.
Exactly.
maybe they're just acknowledging
Uh,
that season 8 was a dumpster fire.
Vok is back. I love it.
And all of this means that there's going to be a ninth episode of Stranger Things.
Oh
Yeah,
no.
I actually don't if you know, but it's not really Stranger Things. It's a secret real finale of Game of Thrones where the last
Shitformity
season
Gate.
was just a fever dream.
You guys don't get it. It's all about George R. R. Martin's opinion of Ryan Condal. That's being
Oh,
Oh, God.
no.
Oh, don't go there.
That broke
Let-
my heart, and that's all I'm going to say about
Right.
it.
Can I ask? Let's take predictions. How long will it take for George to turn on this? How many seasons?
I don't think he will.
I think he'll do fine until they're out of source material. I think he'll do great through 3 because these stories are small enough that I don't really see them like needing to change anything.
And
Uh,
do you feel like if he's like, hey, I got this She Wolves of Winterfell thing, or I got this Summerhall thing,
Right.
do you think if he gives them some broad strokes and is like, go
He
at
already
it?
has.
Do you think, well, no, I know he's giving them like an outline. My point is like, do you think that he's like gonna be like really butthurt if they fuck up his side story, like that he's
Probably.
never gonna write? Like
yeah.
he's never gonna get to this, until he finishes the other book. So right now, like he
Well,
might just be like, have some fun, do something, like play around.
that doesn't sound like George at all, unfortunately. And let's
It,
remember,
it doesn't, but
he did say he actually has started writing 2 more novellas over the past year. He mentioned that in his interview with what is it, Entertainment Weekly or whatever, that he not only has given them an outline for 12 more stories, but he started writing 2 of them this year. Even though he promised us he wouldn't do anything until he finished Winds. So he
yeah,
actually started writing 2.
the man promises all kinds of things. Long
Right.
ago, I think we all were just like, bro, just do
Whatever.
whatever you feel like it. We don't care.
It is very Battlestar Galactica. All of this has happened before, and all of this will happen again.
Yeah, I mean,
But I actually think for sure if we get something else from George, it will be another Duncan Eggs novella, not Winds, and not
Right.
Fire and Blood 2.
oh
Yeah.
shit,
I mean,
Fire Blood 2, I forgot about that.
I find it interesting that he started writing 2 different stories. Like, why not just get one of them done? Why are you working on 2 of them? Like, I don't get
Well,
that.
but see, like this is a natural writing process, I would think normally, and he's a lot older, and there's the pressure and all of it. We've talked about this before, all these factors.
Right.
But if he has 2 good ideas that excite him about
Right.
Duncan the Tall,
Yeah, exactly.
fucking do that, dude, do that. And if we don't ever see it, fine. But just do something that you enjoy. And if eventually that leads you back to finishing Winds of Winter, or like, oh my gosh, like finishing the whole like series, wow. I mean, that would be amazing. But like, don't just sit there and toil and write a chapter and then delete 2 chapters and then write another one and like bang your head against the wall. Like, you're too old for that. Like, you have the money to enjoy your life. Like, just do what you feel is enjoyable. Like,
Well, I mean, he has 2 years to bang out another novella, so or however much of one he didn't finish of the other
they could
2.
also just completely go off book. Like, they don't have to follow an outline with a 4th story. They can just say, we were gonna make something up.
Sorry,
Then
we've just had the same
plot.
conversation so many times about different shows.
Yeah. Other mediums do that all the time. Like, anime is notorious for like, when we're not caught up, they just make shit up. Like, okay, great. And sometimes it's good, and sometimes it sucks. Like,
And then George R. R. Martin writes a blog post.
Right.
and like, even like look, House of the Dragon, he was like, pretty favorable on until
Until he wasn't.
until that finale. Well, that like, I don't, there was some parts about that finale that I think rubbed a lot of
He
people
was
the wrong
mad
way.
about
So,
the fact that the kid wasn't killed.
yeah.
That was what he was mad about.
Butterfly wings being butterfly wings.
Oh, yeah. Freaking the most like encapsulated death in the entire freaking story. And he's mad that they didn't go out of their way to show a 3-year-old getting ripped to pieces.
Right.
Dog. Yeah. I mean, he's allowed his opinion. Anyway,
He is. He is, but it doesn't seem like it's worth wrecking relationships over either.
anybody have anything else they want to say before we wrap it up?
I'm looking forward to meeting what's his face. Obviously, very much because I can't remember his name. Baylor.
Steely Tate?
No, I'm very excited to meet Baylor because I happen to love Bertie Carvel. So, and if you haven't watched Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norrell, do watch it. It is an excellent, excellent adaptation.
Oh, is that who's playing Baylor?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, I dig that. Yeah.
Also, it'll just be cool to meet like a Targaryen that's like competent and a reasonably good person. Like, I don't think we've really. I mean, I guess
His name was
Dany-
Viserys, Kevin.
I guess Dany was competent and a good person for a while on Game of Thrones, but
No, she was both of those things, just not at the same time.
yeah.
Oh boy. Well, you're all forgetting about the number one Targaryen, the OG, the secret Targaryen, the most competent bro of the entire show. But we won't mention that because I guess that's spoilers.
All right, I'm gonna head to bed. But thank you for a
Same.
great conversation, guys.
Yep. It's good to be back.
Yep. So this was great. And we will see y'all or some of y'all next week. We'll figure that out. All right.
Big gulp. Well, see you later.
Until then.
Bye.
All right. Well, let's call it.
All
Yep.
right. Good night, y'all.
Night.
Later, guys.
Night.
Oh, did you guys see what he said about Sansa?
What?
He said he was
No.
gonna like kill her off. Yeah, and I was like, I mean,
What?
granted, he could be talking about 30 years, worth of storytelling, so this could be the plan he had in 1997 or whatever. But I was like, I mean, as a, certified Sansa maniac, I had to move on from that, otherwise I was going to get too upset.
Yeah, I was surprised we didn't hear more about that in the Discord. He was originally thinking that neither Tyrion nor Sansa was going to survive it.
Well, I'll just say that with the current state of mind of the wine moms of this country, he should be very fucking careful what he does to Sansa Stark.
You mean Laura Croft?
No, I don't. That's
Girl
so
is
weird. to me.
ticking off franchises.
Yeah. It's weird to me to see her as Laura Croft. It's just odd. I don't know. I can't explain it. But good for her.
I mean, those movies kind of never really do well. So I hope
Yeah.
it does well. I mean, I like Sophie Turner. So
I liked that game.
She
I
was
liked Tomb Raider.
in.
Good.
She was in something recently.
X-Men?
That's
That
not
wasn't
recent.
I would say that's not recent.
No. She was on. She was like She was like the daughter on.
Oh, the
There was
staircase
some
thing?
show. I'm trying to think where it's like.
Oh yeah, with Michael
maybe.
Peterson.
Well, like the guy was
No,
accused
he
of murder
did
or
that
whatever.
shit, but
You know.
all the women in my life
Yeah.
keep falling down flights of stairs. So
And you know what? Like watching it, like I didn't realize it was her. Probably the first 2 or 3 scenes I saw her. Like the hair's not as red. She's not, dressed up like Sansa. I was like, oh hey, there's Sophie Turner. Yeah. So,
apparently,
I
my
don't know.
phone has these sounds. I was trying to put my phone on speaker and discovered these.
Oh no.
What sounds?
Okay, you have to stop that. I've unleashed hell upon Vogue. I'm sorry.
Yeah, we've tried that before.
Next
I
thing
don't know
you
how
know,
well it goes.
next thing you know, we're gonna hear like a random like cow, or
All of a
you'll hit
sudden
the
have
wrong
like a
button.
radio soundboard. Weenie on the butt.
That's right. It's Flaming Man and the Maester.
Oh,
Or you can. I'm sure there's a sound effect you could use next time we bring up the diary. Ew.
Oh yeah, yeah.
there's
I'm
only
sure we
6.
could find one of those.
We'd have to. Oh, you can search for more sounds. Let's
There
see.
you go. No.
No, you have to get Nitro. Okay.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. Anyways, sorry about that.
All right. Hey, thanks, Varley. Thanks for joining us.
So
Yeah, good night.
natural.
The Abe Simpson of our times.
You'll see. It'll edit perfectly. All right. Varley,
Yay,
everybody.
Varley.
Yeah. Okay. He's gonna be like, when the fuck was I there?
Really cool.
Yeah, it looks exactly like. I mean, I have all of the Hedge Knight graphic novels, and then I have the Game of Thrones one as well. I thought it was pretty good. I wish they'd kept going with those, but I like the art in those.
Yeah, I've, how long has it been since those graphic novels been out? 10, 15 years? I've been wanting them that long, so I should pick
The
those
Hedge
up.
Knight ones like were out of print and back in print. I mean, it came out a while ago, but I'm trying to remember because the Game of Thrones one started in like season, I don't know, 2 or 3 or something of the show,
But
and they were
but
like
didn't they
comic
only
books.
make like 6 of them?
They did the first book basically.
Oh,
If I remember
Didn't
correctly,
they? I
because
thought
it
the
was
yeah, I
like
graphic
checked that out.
novel also did what's the Sworn Sword? That's the second one, right?
Yeah, but that fucker, whose name I don't remember, but he's like, "Fuck him to the kidneys, fuck him, fuck him."
But yeah, I'm wondering if the Hedge Knight ones I think might have been comic books too originally, or I only just got them as like graphic novels. But I'm trying to see because where
Because
they
didn't we
stopped.
do like a cast read along or something? And I was like, I was like, looking at the graphic novel, and some of the language was different. So I was like, huh?
Yeah, there's definitely some things that they changed in those books, but like the art's really good.
Yeah, the art is really
Um,
good, and I think they probably used most of it to storyboard the episode because, like I said, there's like certain
I
frames
mean,
that are
it's
like
already
exactly like
storyboarded,
the
so
graphic.
why not?
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Well, you
yeah,
never
yes,
know.
the Game of Thrones comic book stopped in 2014. And I think they announced A Clash of Kings, which is what this says, in like 2017, but I don't think they ever actually did it. But I never got those. I remember, like, I think I got a few of
Are you trying to
the
say that a
comic.
Game of Thrones product was delayed despite having a hard deadline?
No.
the books are there for them, so they don't. It's not that, but there's something about like the art, like I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, it like was taking them longer, costing them more than they thought. I don't. Maybe they didn't sell well enough, but when like
Is
everything
that why
Game of
they went to
Thrones,
AI?
maybe everything Game of Thrones was selling like fucking crazy, and like they didn't keep going. So I don't know. Uh,
Dude, I remember one of the, it wasn't Boiled Leather, it was another one of the podcasts where this, maybe it's History of Westeros? No. Anyway, he was like, I quit my job and I'm going to do this like full time as my job. I was like, that seems very dumb. That has an
that was
expiration date.
That was History of Westeros, and that was like getting very close to the end of the show too. I was like, interesting.
Yeah.
But if you're making enough money, I mean, look, if you can do it, at least even if it's just for a few years, I mean, great, more power to you. But
But
uh,
you can't do it. You can't do it for free. You need like sponsors and stuff.
yes, you need a lot, and it's a full time job, and I guess they
Yeah.
did make the Clash of Kings comic book. I didn't realize that. It looks like they did.
Yeah. My friend who does Wine
Oh.
and Friends, she said, that they used to get like 2 to 3 times as much for a commercial spot. And like a commercial spot on their episodes, like they get $1,000, but like they have to pay themselves, their editors, their like their whole team from like those episodes from that one spot. And it's like,
Well, but there was a thing with YouTube, 6, 7 years ago, whatever it was. It's like the same thing. Like our videos, like they don't make a shit ton of money, but it's like they used to like, oh, like hey, there's money, look at that. And like, especially if you weren't one of the big creators, like people's payouts just from like YouTube from AdSense, even though they're making the same money off those ads, like Google still charges the same shit or more. Like people's payouts went down to like, a quarter of what it was in some cases or less.
they must
Like,
have
oh
been
yeah,
like,
yeah,
oh,
you people don't deserve to get paid. So
they're probably like, oh, well, Spotify gets away with not paying like fucking
right.
huge superstars. So how the fuck are we letting these peons get any more money than they need to? All right, I'm gonna hop off, boys and girls. It was a good episode. I liked it, but I'm very stoned right now, and I don't think I'll be able to keep it again.
So why don't we'll get started and then I'll just like cut him in briefly somehow somewhere.
Just edit him in.
That's right. I'll have to remember to ask Varley about his lemon cakes after we get started.
Even if he doesn't have an introduction, but whatever.
Yeah, no, that I'll figure. I'll find a way to make it seem natural. All right. Give me a second. Let's get going. I gotta pull up. Well, I don't know. I don't know any of these people's names. The actors. Shit.
Oh yeah, that would help. Probably a good idea.
All right. Here we go.